Hello, this is Jesse with Deep South Beekeeping and more. Today I'm going to process a white-tailed deer head for a skull mount. I'll show you all the processes from start to finish. The hardest part of the procedure is skinning this head. Of course, you need a sharp knife, and I really can't tell you the easiest way to skin it. I just skin it. After that, I can show you a detailed process on how we're going to make a beautiful skull mount and bleach it very white. I'm going to start here on the underside. I call Callie my work kitty. Anything I'm doing, she's right in the middle of it. Okay, I didn't time it, but I would say that took about 20 minutes to skin that skull. Now, we need to take off that bottom jaw. It's getting very loose. As this skull boils, there's an extra vertebrae there. I mean, I could cut it off now, but what will happen, the vertebrae will separate, and then we'll just have the skull from about here. Okay. When you get it to this point, you've got the hard work behind you. So I'll be back with you with the next step shortly. Well, good morning. I boiled this skull for several hours yesterday. It got late. I just turned the burner off and I let it sit here in the pan overnight. I would come about every 45 minutes and I would bring the water level back up to where you see it now. I'm going to take it out of the water now and see how it is. I'll give you a look at how it's progressing. It looks pretty tender. I'm going to pull all of that meat and cartilage off of this skull and then make a determination if it needs to go back into the hot water. Okay, I just took the skull out of the hot water, and we're going to see if it needs to go back into the water. But first I'm going to clean up what I can, just manually. If I think it's tender enough, we'll take it to the next step, which is washing out the cavities with the garden hose. Now see how that last vertebrae in the neck, it just fell off, and that's exactly what we wanted. You have to be careful down here around his snout. These bones are delicate. Okay, there's still some toughness in that cartilage. I'm going to put it back into the water and boil it some more. But it helps to get as much of this as we can now. I did break one of the bones up here in his nostrils and his snout, but after it's all cleaned up, you can easily fix that with a little Elmer's glue. I have it's not ready to spray with the water hose just yet. It's not tender enough, but I was able to get a lot of the meat and the cartilage off of it, and we're going to put it back in the pan for a while longer. I put the skull back into the pan, brought the water level up to just below the base of the antlers, and I've picked up the heat. So I'll monitor this about every 30-45 minutes, make sure. I'm actually going to bring it up to a low boil. I have a pretty hard boil going on now. I'm going to turn it down a little. If the color fades on these antlers, on the base of them, what I've done in the past is I'll take a little bit of wood stain and touch them up. It works great. It doesn't always fade them. The next process might a little if you're not very careful when you use hydrogen peroxide to whiten the skull. It will certainly. What I have done is actually wrapped the antlers in rubber tape to try to help it. But if it bleaches it a little, we can repair it. It's not hard. Water's getting a little bit low. I'm going to bring it back up to the base of the antlers. And I'll keep a check on it about every 30-45 minutes. I'm getting ready to pull the skull out and check it and see if it's tender enough for me to clean it out with the garden hose. And I'll do some scraping on it and pull some cartilage away from it. So we'll see. I just pulled the skull out of the hot water. It's been on several hours today and several hours yesterday. What I would do is I was working around the house. I was servicing some other equipment. I would run the fire a little hotter. And when I left the house to go to town to run an errand, I would put it really low. You just have to keep a close watch on it. So let's take a look and see how it's doing. This bone is broken. That's okay. You can repair that easily. I'm going to reach up in here and drag out some of this cartilage. It's very tender. I think we're ready for the next step, which is to clean it out with the garden hose. Now, I know it looks really dingy right now, bone colored. The next step after we get this skull clean enough, it will brighten it as white as you want it to be. You have to be careful on that step because if you just keep bleaching it, We do it with hydrogen peroxide, heated hydrogen peroxide. It will just get whiter and whiter, but the only problem is the bones will get more brittle. So we want to it to maintain its integrity. Spray up into those nose cavity. Every cavity you see, you want to put the pressure in there. A little bit messy. It can spray all over you. This is kind of a drawn-out job. It takes several hours to do it. When you see the finished product, I believe you'll like it. We'll work on that brain cavity some. I'm being careful not to set it down on those tender bones up here. Spray in every opening that you see. A little bit of cartilage left right here I need to scrape off. You can see all the way through here. Water's going through nicely. I think we're good enough. I can move on to the bleaching process. Even the bleaching process will remove any tiny bits that may remain. Okay, I've cleaned out the pan. Dumped out all the water, cleaned the pan a bit. And I filled it with almost 7 quarts of hydrogen peroxide. Just the kind you buy at Dollar General or Walmart. Now, you notice I've wrapped the antlers. I don't want to bleach them. But we may bleach them a little. But I told you this earlier. You can repair that with a little bit of wood stain. Very dark wood stain, just with a small brush. Now, I'll be back with you after I get this hot. I'm not going to bring it to a rolling boil, but we're going to get it hot and like a low boil. And it won't take very long to brighten up the skull. This hydrogen peroxide is beginning to heat up. I can already see the skull whitening. Now, since it doesn't cover the entire skull, you want to stay with it during this process. It won't take long. But dip it on top of that highest point of the skull. Keep it wet. Keep that hot hydrogen peroxide going over it. Now, you can take the skull to the desired shape that you want. I mean, you could have left it like it was if you wanted to. But I prefer them wider. But the wider you get them, the longer you leave it in the solution, the more brittle and powdery the bone becomes. But just doing this, it'll be fine. But just know that if you don't leave it indefinitely. When we're done, we'll wash the peroxide off with the water hose, let it dry. It won't take long because it's so hot. And then you can make you a plaque. You can screw from the back of the plaque and attach it with screws. I've drilled like right into the teeth before and put screws through to mount it to a plaque. But I found the best way that I like is to use some clear epoxy. That Gorilla Clear Epoxy, the 2-part. It works really well. And that piece of bone that I broke, it's in the pot too. So I want it to be the same color. Okay, I'm going to continue this process for a while, and I'll be back with you shortly. I have been here about 30 minutes dipping this hot hydrogen peroxide onto this skull, and I've taken it to the color that I wanted. I'm getting ready to pull this out. I'm going to rinse it under the garden hose, and then I'll be back with you to sum up this video and try to give you a few more pointers. It's not difficult. It's just all in knowing what to do and putting some time in. As you boil that head, the water goes down. So you have to stay kind of close by or turn it way down if you leave and keep the water level up. This is optional. You can put, and I like to do this, I like to put polyurethane satin. I like to paint the antlers with it so that it will maintain its natural look. I know satin isn't the natural look, but it'll maintain the color for years. I have also been known to clean up the skull, let it dry, and paint the skull with Elmer's glue. Not sure that's really necessary. It does make the skull more durable. It holds the bones in the nostril area together. But that's up to you. Now after this hydrogen peroxide cools, I'm going to filter it and put it back in the bottles. It will do just fine for another skull that I have to do in the next few days. It'll do fine. I'll see you in a few minutes to sum this up. Well, here's the finished product. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit like and subscribe. This is Jesse with Deep South Beekeeping and more, and I'll see you on the next video.